Hello. Uh, in this episode, I am going to describe my thinkings on the subject of the better maritime industry, the better maritime industry in terms of sustainability, in terms of sustainability, and specifically my title is going to be. Uh, Commercial sustainability of the maritime industry, the maritime industry. So before going to the details, I am interested to define terms like maritime, shipping, sustainability, and commerce, commerce, and the the key points that my presentation will stress is on three points. The first one, uh, the first one is the need for vertical and horizontal interventions. The need for vertical and horizontal interventions in order to contribute for the betterment of the existing maritime industry globally or locally. I'll describe it. I'll describe it. The second point is the need for social justice in order to the underdeveloped regions participate in the maritime industry, in the global maritime industry. And the third point is comparison of regulatory bodies with another uh, sector like OPEC. OPEC, for instance, those nations who are who are uh, which are involved in the supply of oil, on the supply of oil. They have association called OPEC. OPEC in order to bargain their supplying positions, their supplying positions. So what is this equivalent organization in the shipping industry? So these three pointers, these 3 pointers will be the main focus of my my thinking for the better maritime industry, for the better maritime industry or the better maritime world. So first of all, what is maritime? What is maritime? And as the text and the experts and the professors in the field explain it. Maritime is a thing of water. Anything that belongs to the water is referred to as maritime. Maritime. When we say water, we mean the water bodies, the aquatic bodies, like the the rivers, the lakes, the sea, and the oceans, and in the contemporary application, uh, this maritime refer to and shipping, and shipping is a term associated with ship, and by definition, a ship is a craft or a vehicle that use that use in order to transport goods goods and many forms of cargo on these water bodies or uh, the word maritime referred to referred to. So the next term is sustainability. Sustainability. Here uh, I am interested to focus on the aspect of sustainability in terms of in terms of uh, in terms of business process, in terms of a shipping organization, because the maritime industry is big, and within it there are many units, cells, uh, components, the likes. However, all the other uh, all the other activities are basically centering the shipping business or the shipping company itself. So I want to define sustainability in terms of shipping company. If you can sustain the shipping company, specifically the business of the shipping company, then all the other maritime activities, all the other significant maritime activities are largely centering this business, this shipping business, so that they too can sustain. So from this model, from this perspective, then sustainability is all about sustaining the business of a shipping company in this contemporary in this contemporary era where many forms of competitors are available out there. Other modes, other modes can compete the shipping industry, and also outside the competitors' force, uh, there are many uncertain there are many uncertain forces in the macro environment, in the external environment, in the business environment at which or on which this shipping company providing its operation. So, what are these forces? For example, some of them we can mention uh, pollution, the effect of marine pollution on the shipping business. If a shipping company by its operation, by the movement of its ship, if it pollutes the marine environment, the maritime uh, water bodies, then it has an effect. The company will be fined, or penalty will pass by the maritime administrators, and this financial penalty and also its effect on the reputation of the shipping company will have some negative force on its business. So uh, maritime environment in terms of in terms of in terms of pollution management or subjects related with this has an effect on the shipping company, and these are external forces. These are external forces, things that happen outside the shipping company. The other forces, for instance, is the maritime education institutions. The maritime education institutions, and these institutions are vital by by supplying the human resource, the skilled labor, the seafarers, and other maritime administration, maritime management related uh, personnels to 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 the industry, to the shipping companies, so that the quality, the knowledge of this skilled labor can determine the effectiveness of the shipping company, the shipping company. And the other one is the energy industry, So uh, in order to run its ships, function its normal operations of ships, then oil or energy is mandatory. So the price uh, the price of energy, the availability of energy, and issues within this sector also affect affect the business of uh, the shipping company, from the external, The other one is regulations, governmental regulations, intergovernmental regulations, like those which are facilitating by the IMO, and others by the ship associations, by 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 different groups, have effect on shipping companies in terms of tax, in terms of tax, in terms of tax, in terms of registration, licensing, in terms of labor management, like the ILO is concerned, uh, and things associated with this, uh, standards on the shipping equipment, the equipments which are exist on the ship, uh, on communication equipments, on the human management, the human aspect of the shipping company, the seafarer issue, the safety of life at sea, and management of the ocean environment, and the like. So all these policies will have effect on the business of the shipping companies. However, all these are external forces, external forces that the company uh, cannot do anything except being obeying and managing in order to in order to in order to in order to work within this set set frameworks set frameworks. So However, when I say sustainability, uh, I'm not I'm not here. I'm not interested on sustaining how we can sustain how we can sustain these external forces, these external forces, these external forces. But I'm interested I'm interested on how we can sustain the business of the business of the business of the shipping organization, uh, even though all such type of external challenges are available out there for the shipping managers, for the shipping managers. So when I say sustainability, I mean leading the shipping company in the presence of all these known and unknown challenges, and accessing the availability of demand for the company, the availability of demand for the company. So even though these challenges are out there, there are also opportunities. So I'm interested on sustaining these opportunities which are existing out there. And when I say opportunities, we can change it by the name market or demand for the shipping transport service, for the shipping transport service. So sustainability is then managing the company, leading the company by locating the opportunities out there, uh, by 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 serving these demands, and by obeying to this challenge, external challenges, and getting profits, basically in financial terms, in financial in financial terms, in financial terms. And sustainability is making the company for not being affected at its core core business process, business process at any situation, The situation could be hardship, hardship in the form of many downturns in the economy, when less demand is available out there. The company, then how it can be how it can be active, how it can be active at its core without being shutting down its core business processes, how it can operate sometimes at break-even level. And for example, I can mention a good example here. Uh, during the Ethio-Eritrean war, uh, in the past, then the Ethiopian shipping line was challenged in order to function, provide its services from from uh, uh, from the Mitsuwa, from the port of Mitsuwa in Eritrea, and it was then a hard time for the managers, the shipping managers, as well as the regulators, to maintain the service, service and then the financial profits of this shipping line at such level of hardship, at such level of a very risky situation, so that you can refer the organizations, this organization profile, how they really managed uh, this hard time, and it is very interesting. It is very interesting from business perspective, for business students and for maritime managers, for maritime managers. The other one is not only during the downturn. What about during during when everything is okay and there is too much opportunity for growth, for growth, and there is a tricky thing in here. Growth should be managed. Growth should be managed. So if we don't have the capacity to pick the available opportunities, the available extreme opportunities, then that too is a danger. It can treat the mission, the purpose why the organization uh, is established. The shipping company is established. So sustainability is then doesn't mean survival. Sustainability then means being open, being open at their core business process at any at any time, through hard times, through hardships, and through through prosperous time for the business, for the business. It is a matter of knowing uh, how much and how to pick for our for our organization. Then, what is commerce? What is commerce? In this module, I am interested to define commerce in terms of package. In terms of package, commerce is then a package that contain other that contain many business disciplines, many business disciplines, which are very important in order to manage the business of the shipping company, the business of the shipping company. So we can take accounting as one accessory, uh, accounting and finance as one accessory, marketing as another accessory, management with its many forms, with managerial administration, with strategic management, with international management, with with human resource management, with relationship management, with many of its forms, some aspects of economics, specifically business economics, some aspects of information sciences, information management, and some aspects of law like contract, like maritime law and the likes. So all this together as a package can be called commerce, commerce or commercial management in the shipping company, because the shipping company also has operations management, managing the operation of the ships, which is the core activity, but not core business activity. Then branch, this commercial branch is important in order to support the operations in terms of in terms of in terms of finance, in terms of accounting, in terms of marketing, in terms of legal issues, in terms of information aspects, and we can add within it uh, some social disciplines like sociology in order to be socially responsible, administrating the superior social issues and the likes and the likes. So when I say commercial sustainability, when I say commercial sustainability, we can pick points. For example, uh, the maritime services could be entrepreneurial activities, and regulatory activities, and the likes, which which has affiliation with the maritime world, So from from this maritime services, I want from this external maritime services which are provided outside the shipping company. I am interested on picking the regulator of many forms, governmental regulators, regulators, private regulators. Uh, there are private regulators. It is not part like the societies, the surveying societies, and the like. So regulators in the maritime industry are very important. Starting with the governmental arm that has a relationship or interest to regulate the maritime aspect, it could be from ministerial level to maritime authorities and societies and the likes. From the ministerial, it could be in the foreign affairs, in the trade, uh, in the industry, and many desks in the maritime industry under the title of the regulator. These are very important in order to attract demand, in order to communicate demand, in order to integrate demand to the shipping market, to the shipping uh, supply. Then the next one is the this one is external. The regulators are external of the shipping company that's existing in the industry. The next one is internal to the shipping company, and this one is the commercial arm. The commercial arm. So when the regulators bring or show direction for the demand to be generated and to be available for the shipping company, then the second responsible body is the commercial arm of the shipping company. Then when this shipping company then works in the rule of sustainability, then the operation arm of the shipping company then can be sent and access that demand and the profit to the company will come, and profit from this profit at any stage, all the other services, all the other maritime services can be profitable. And when the industry is then profitable, and it can be sustained, and it can contribute to the bigger national and global economy, and the national and the world economy can have one component which contributed to the global sustainable economy. And if we have a sustainable global economy and worldwide, then we can have the money in order to access resources which are important to in order to make the world a better place, in order to improve the living quality of people people at any part of the world. So this is the model. This is the model. Now we already defined the term maritime, the term shipping or ship, the term sustainability, and the term commerce. The term commerce. So next I'll go to the 3 points and I'll describe them point by point. Okay. So uh, what are the what are the topics for sustainable maritime industry? And the first one is intervention, vertical and horizontal intervention. Vertical intervention means the interventions which are necessary at national level, and horizontal interventions means the interventions that are necessarily international or global or at regional level. I will describe each of them. Then, what are the components of the vertical intervention which should be carried out at national level? First of all, these are of 4 items. The first one is maritime services. The second one is sectoral links to the maritime services. The third one is the financial sector, the banking and insurance industry. And the fourth one is the business and investment realm of the nation. So that regulator, the maritime regulator at national level, whether it is at ministerial level, at private level, and at local authorities level, or at any level in the domestic maritime sector or industry. When I say domestic maritime sector, it doesn't mean inland waterways. When I say domestic maritime sector, any maritime activity, any maritime activity which is originated in the nation and at the national level, So this regulator have to be responsible in order to integrate these 4 things: the maritime services, the sectors which have the nearest affinity to the maritime industry, the bank and the insurance or the financial sector, and the business and investment environment. When these 4 levels of services integrate each other through the coordination of a desk, for instance, a business development desk at the maritime administration, or at any points, even even flexibly, it can be the marketing department of the shipping association of the company, or where there is no shipping association in the nation, then if it has a shipping company, a desk, a business development desk at a shipping company, or if the nation do not have a shipping company, then the trade facilitation desk, the trade facilitation unit can give a desk for business development of organizing demands for their export or import with with respect to shipping need for shipping transport So anyway, these four level of services should be coordinated, integrated, and demand must be systematically created a sustainable continuous demand can be uh, created for the shipping world. Then let us see each of these items within the vertical intervention. What are the maritime services? The maritime services are the services which are necessary in order to obey the normal function of the maritime world, and uh, and then and then giving giving what the others are looking from the maritime world For example, shipping company is a maritime service. A shipping service is a maritime service, and a shipping yard building ships is within the maritime service. Providing uh, legal maritime services is within the maritime service, and the inspection surveying services of ships is within the maritime service. Ocean bill of lading forwarding is within the maritime service. Fishing is within the maritime service. Mineral extraction from oceans, including oil, is within the maritime service. Maritime education and training is within the maritime service, and many services, most of which are entrepreneur, the other ones, most of which are entrepreneur, and this can be arranged either at state level or private level. So each country uh, has its traditional or modern forms of maritime services in many parts of the world. So these are the maritime services. And what are the sectors which have a link, the shortest link with the maritime service? It depends between countries. For example, each country can design or identify the top five sectors in this regard. In this regard. As an illustration, for example, we can we can take the general transport service, the train, the truck, the air, the multimodal and the likes transport services can have the easiest link or composition or combination or integration with transport, the shipping transport, so that there could be a source of transit, there could be a source of demand in many forms, either in the form of cargo or in the form of passenger, and the likes. The other one is education and health. The education sector is the provider of the human aspect of the trained human labor or a skilled human labor to the maritime industry. It is the source of research based on which the maritime sector is have been updating itself, uh, and discovering many new things which have value to the sustainability of the shipping industry. And the health sector too. The health sector too is a close friend to the maritime industry regarding the health of the seafarers, the health of the seafarers, and by a claim to the shipping yards. There are ambulance which are seagoing in many islands, in many military services, uh, naval services, coast guard services, and also the cargo which is generating uh, with this the education and the health sector is tremendous. Many equipments can be transported via the oceans from different parts of the world to different parts of the world. So this sector too is the closest by generating demand to the shipping sector. The other one is the construction sector or industry. A lot of raw materials for for the construction for the construction for the construction for for national level construction from individual to state level, and materials such as steel have been transported from one part to the other via the shipping sector, and the shipping sector has special advantage to transport the construction materials or raw materials because it is cheapest, relatively cheapest, and it can hold or accommodate a large amount of construction cargo, and from virtually anywhere in the world. So this sector is another good source of demand. The other one is tourism and trade. And tourism in the form of cruise, in the form of cruise, uh, and other activities, maritime ocean-oriented tourism activities, and trade within all its forms, from production, from service, uh, from such area, to export and import, and then using the shipping service as one of the alternative transport means, transport means to transport the traded items. And the other one is agriculture. agriculture agriculture is like countries Ethiopia and Nigeria, Africa, and continent Africa. Agriculture is one of the best sources for the shipping business. For the shipping business. The other one is the mineral, energy, and water sector. The mineral in the form of transport, and also raw materials in the shipping, constructing, and operating industry. energy also in order to operate the ships and as a cargo, and water as being evident to the shipping transport. So these are the sectoral links we talk about, but any any other sectors too can be specific to the advantage that it has to the given nation. So the other one is the banking and insurance industry, the financial institutions. Before that, I want to describe the business and investment item. So the business and investment item or realm of the nation is generally the one who is expected to generate the ultimate demand to the shipping sector, to the shipping company. And when you say business, it has level, it could be at individual level, or it could be in more sophisticated, uh, sophisticated forms, sophisticated forms. Uh, and there are micro and small enterprises, medium level businesses, and big businesses like industries, advanced services, advanced service, and advanced forms of investments, and business too has a grassroots level practitioners, and a top level practitioners, and the demand cargo, passengers, and the likes can be generated from this reading, from the business and investment reading, and many shipping companies too can be owned by this era, that by this era, if private shipping operation, shipping company is allowed within the nation, or registration is allowed, shipping registration by a foreign owners is allowed in the nation, then the place where they will be found, as well as their demand is mainly found, is in this freedom. So business can be managed at an individual, at grassroots level, and also can be managed in big forms like holdings and corporations and the like. All of them have their own structures, structures, legal structures. And when I come back to the financial uh, industry, or the financial organizations like the banking and the insurance uh, sector, the financiers, and other investors, financial investors within them, then the banking and the insurance sector is very important in many forms. For example, by providing loan to the maritime services itself, including to the shipping companies, for their expansion, for their financial operations, financial operations, and the likes, and the insurance companies by covering the systematic and non-systematic risks that these shipping companies, as well as the maritime services, can bear, as being existing like any other business company in this uncertain environment. And also the issue of project financing, by uh, by considering the project itself as a collateral, and reducing physical liquidity or or collateral is very necessary for the normal uh, uh, integration and interaction of business and creating the demand for the shipping world, or for the shipping company, company shipping company. The other one is the issue of incubators, especially at micro and small business level, and below that at grassroots business practitioners level, then is very important in order to upgrading the participants of the business to the upper level, so that the more stronger and big business are existing, and they will sustain or contribute better for the demand, the sustainable demand of the shipping company. So these are the vertical components. Then, before describing the horizontal intervention, I want to speak on the need for social justice for the underdeveloped countries to participate in the maritime sector. Okay, let us take a little break here, and I'll come back. Okay. Uh, we have seen the vertical and we have seen the vertical interventions, and it has four components, and it should be arranged at national level. Then once each of the countries are arranged themselves in this maritime accounts. The next one is the need for social justice for the underdeveloping nations, for the underdeveloped nations, So it is known that the world is arranged into three regions in terms of economy. These are the underdeveloped world or region of the world, the developing region of the world, and the developed region of the world. The world. So, so while vertically we can arrange these four things. Horizontally, then we can arrange the accounts of each of the country in terms of its maritime resources within these three regions: the underdeveloped region, the developing regions, and the developed regions in terms of economy. And the maritime services then can be arranged at four levels. four levels like low level maritime services, medium level maritime services, high level maritime services, and advanced level maritime services. Maritime services. So, what are the advanced level maritime services? For instance, building a ship in a shipping yard is an advanced level maritime service. It requires a lot of skills, it requires a lot of finance, it requires a lot of finance knowledge, uh, and material and the likes. So usually such kind of advanced level maritime services can be available in the developed part of the world because of their economic power, so that they can attract and retain and develop diversified all the required skill, finance, material, and the likes, so that usually it is a maritime service or a maritime activity in the developed part of the world. And also big big bigger biggest or big level of insurance coverage is available in this developed part of the world or in this region. Also, big shipping companies are usually available in this developed part of the world, and also in the developing part of the world, because the developing part of the world is a kind of an overlapping between the two, the developed and the underdeveloped. So we can see a mixture of things in the developing part of the world, in the developing part of the world. And for example, installing marine communication equipments like telecom equipments, like internet uh, bands, internet bands, and the likes in bend or down in the ocean by mariners, by marine engineers, uh, could be an activity which is usually made by people or skills in the advanced regions, because the cost is very high, the knowledge is the advanced one, and generally many high-tech forms are exist in the developed and to some degree developing part of the world. So, what are the low-level maritime services? For example, we can consider some level of unorganized fishing, unorganized fishing in the rivers, in the lakes, in the ocean, in the sea, a kind of that, and trade. Instead of having a shipping company at low level of maritime services, the provider or the nation or the region is interested only in exporting raw materials by contracting a deep sea shipping company from the outside, and the likes. So naturally by the hands of the market, then the maritime services are arranged themselves within this three economy, from low level service to high or service, advanced level service. So the intervention is then in promoting the normal and the fair interaction between these three regions. The horizontal intervention is then in allowing, promoting, and intentionally working, systematically working, the interaction, the integration, the relationship between these three regions, and retaining, attracting, sustaining international transport demand for the shipping companies, the global shipping companies. So it is another form of intervention, which is international outside the national intervention, which is vertical. Then the issues social justice should be raised right here. Social justice means when it is hard to compensate someone, to give justice using the legal system, the existing legal system. Then what about compensating the disadvantaged group among the society by the action of the society itself, by the action of the society itself, by the action of the society itself. So the barriers to entry into the maritime services is very hard. Some of the advanced or the high, the medium forms could require specific knowledge, expensive knowledge, and there are there could be many unequal opportunity uh, unequal opportunity providers because of discriminations in terms of gender, in terms of race, in terms of religion, uh, in terms of economy, backwardness, and the likes. So these are invisible and normally is not are not allowed. However, someone could face these things here and there like any of the other industries. Like all the other industries are fighting this injustice, these discriminations. The maritime world too have to fight and is fighting these things. So how can we fight such barriers, such unprofessional barriers, such uh, barriers which are not meant to be there, which are not meant to be there? And also, how can we reduce the natural or the positive uh, barriers so that some people who have interest, dream in this aspect uh, legally and ethically can participate and fulfill their dream, their dream, their dream. One of the reasons is this. The other one is in order to obey the practice of corporate social responsibility by the shipping companies, so that this activity too is a positive externality, can bring demand, can bring reputation to the shipping company itself. So, for instance, in countries like Ethiopia, at present, importing the goods is only restricted for the national flag carrier, which is a state company, But I heard that the exporters are free in order to in order to load their cargo on the shipping company, which is chosen by by the importer in the other side of the trade, in the other side of the trade. So big ships could then traded or could then picking up this export, this export, this export, and however most of the exports are are originated by farmers, Ethiopian farmers, who are living at grassroots level in the most worst rural areas, with a very limited economy, economical sources to send their children to school, uh, to live in good living quality, so that these big shipping companies, can bring some of their their value chain activities in Ethiopia, directly or indirectly through the global maritime services. For example, some equipments for uh, for shipping yards in order to build the ship can be manufactured here in Ethiopia and can be installed in the shipping yards outside, or the raw materials for building ships like the iron ore can be extracted from here. Not if not building the shipping company is not the option. Building the opening the shipping yard here is not the option. So some cruise companies can order some of their utilities from Ethiopia. So people at grassroots level can be beneficiary, and it has an advantage in order to have a big reputation, a positive image, and in order to attract demands from the region, and the practices uh, very noble, serving poor farmers which are at the last or the lowest level of value chain of the export goods, is not something ordinary, and we can do such kind of social justice social justice in the developed in the underdeveloped regions usually, and we can do it also for disadvantaged groups at anywhere in the developing regions and in the developed regions too, This includes the issue of users, university graduates who are interested in order to involve in the maritime sector, who have interest, the dreams and the likes. So we have to promote such type of social justice for the sustainable uh, for the sustainability of the industry, for the betterment of the industry, The other one, is the need for the ideal regulator of all these things. Who should do these things? Of course, everybody in the maritime industry. However, who have special responsibility to do what we have been discussed, what we have been modeling here, and I know that these things are already under practice in many parts of the world. However, the rate the rate could be increased in some parts, and then in another part of the regions, uh, then this job is not yet started, and the integration at vertical level, not only the integration, the intervention at vertical level, and the intervention at the horizontal level would not yet been done as such, as such, at, at, at this present time, so that who could be responsible, who could be responsible. There are questions like OPEC. OPEC is a platform for the suppliers of the oil market to manage, to bargain their supply. Then who is the equivalent structure in the shipping industry? First of all, is such need important to bargain uh, bargain the the shipping sector stand against anyone, including the customers, the demand originators, and other para services, other industries. Is the need important? Then who is doing this job? Is it the market who can determine this? Is it the economy? Is it the shipping association? Is it the intergovernmental organization like the IMO? Then who is working this job? And first of all, is this job necessarily? Then I leave it for for uh, for everyone, the answer and the need for everyone. And thank you for your attention, for your attention. So the better world is very important, so that as part of the world, the better maritime world is very important. The sustainability issue is very important. The commercial sustainability issue is very important. Improving the living quality of people is very important. The issue of uses in the maritime world is very important. The issue of shipping companies, the issue of seafarers, the issue of the shipping services, and the other maritime services is very important. Above all, this shipping and maritime industry is existing in order to serve others, and customers are very important, uh, like every service to this service, to this shipping service. Thank you very much, and I want to see every one of you either as a customer or as a shipping service provider, or in any form to to the future to come, and the better world and the better maritime world for our globe. Thank you.